Years ago, when I was in the child support family courts, there was always a bailiff, an officer of the court. Every morning, he would give the parents a speech. He would always tell them before the judge came out and took the bench, he would tell the parents in the courtroom that kids love superheroes. And to the child, each parent is a superhero. Kids understand heroes and villains.
Uh-huh.
And when a parent trash talks the other parent to the child, they create a villain in the child's mind. And when the child looks in the mirror, they're going to wonder, am I half a villain? Because how can one hero talk so bad about the other hero? And it's very hard for children to reconcile that they are two superheroes who represent him or her, but yet they hate each other. So
Uh-huh.
parents really do need to tone it down and understand things from the child's perspective and not make the other parent a villain. Because at the end of the day, it's going to manifest itself in that child doing something harmful, to eradicate that villain. Because how can you deal with being a villain if the other parent is always trying to make the other parent out to be one?
Analogies, like you just did with the superheroes, because then I visualize that and it sticks with
Yes.
me and I remember things like that. So I think that's really important. And I would love for there to be more support. Do the courts have the facility to do it? I don't know. Can we enforce it? I don't know. All we can do is keep talking about it and hoping that people will listen, because we've lost that, haven't we? We've lost the care. We've lost each case. A solicitor looks at a case. Lawyer. We have solicitors over here.
Yes.
A lawyer looks at a case and they see it as, in the eyes of a lawyer. A social worker looks at a case and they see it in the eyes of a social worker. A mediator looks at a case and they see it in the eyes of a mediator. We're all looking at the same picture, but from all different angles. So we're going to treat it differently. The parents are going to treat it differently. So I think there has to be a joint narrative. As I said, we need to be having that network of support, but that network of support needs to also be ensuring that they are essentially singing from the same hymn sheet. Because again, if we've got blurred boundaries and we've got school working against a parent or parents working against school and vice versa, we've got problems, haven't we? Because we've got children who are seeing gaps, and children, particularly as they're pre-teens and into teenage years, are going to push boundaries. That's what teenagers do. They have to do it. It's part of them growing up
Yep.
and becoming independent and
Yeah.
adults. So, particularly separation, which is quite typical between around the ages of 9, 10, up to kind of 13, 14 and beyond, I suppose, really. But those ages that are just so critical to children when they are learning to become a bit more independent, to be able to make decisions, to not have to rely wholly on mum. They can go and play out, and they're allowed to play out maybe out of sight of mum or dad. And they're allowed to have that autonomy to make decisions and keep themselves safe. But when we then have two parents in different places, what if the mum and dad live a couple of blocks from one another and Johnny says, Mum, I'm going to Dad's, and tells Dad, I'm going to Mum's. Where is he? Could be in anywhere. And if parents aren't talking, we've got a child at risk, haven't we?